Hello and welcome, dear viewers, to this brand new episode of your show, The Untold. My name is Daij Al-Hoteri and I'm here with Hiba Al-Qahtani, my colleague. How are you doing today?
Well, we're doing great, and hopefully everyone is actually enjoying their time, especially eager to know more about today's episode and our guest.
Yeah, today we have a distinguished Kuwaiti director, and it's going to be interesting because we're going to get to know more about his passion, his stories, his background, like how did he start, and all these kind of information that leads us to our guest. So yeah.
Yes, indeed. And because we are the Untold, you're going to know more about the background story and all of the behind the scenes of our distinguished guest, Yarub Borhama.
Stay with us. Welcome back, dear viewers, to the studio, and of course, welcome to the studio, Mr. Yarub Borhama. How are we doing today?
Very good, very good. I'm honored to be here.
We're so happy and honored as well to have you here with us. So basically, it's a beautiful experience, beautiful moments here with you to share with us your experience, your background in the directing field. So basically, we're gonna get to know more information, learn more with you. Sorry. So basically, can we get started with the background of yours?
The background. I think I was talking with Aziz, the producer of the show, and we were talking about that part earlier. And today, a big part of what I want to share with my background is, let's say, when I was around 6 years old, since I was maybe 4, even before.
So the very beginning of
very beginning. I think I didn't get out of the interests of that 4-year-old today. And today I'm going to end my 40s. Yeah, 16.
16.
Yeah, I'm going to know by September I'll be 50.
Mashallah.
So the more advanced my age comes in, the more I remember those early days, and I think I'm becoming more of a friend of that 4 and 6-year-old. I was the type of child that actually distinguished between the me time and playtime. And the me time was very important for me. I used to wake up in the morning, very early in the morning. I like the early mornings, and I used to really look into things and try to make the connections between things. My parents were students in the States at the time, and I was by the time I was in KG2, I think. And I remember strolling around in the park in front of my house, and there was some small streams, and I look at the leaves of the trees, and I look at the stream and the water and the tadpoles, and I don't talk much at that time, and I just take everything in. And usually what happens after that, it's just I get a surge now to go and share that information, what I saw. And usually my friend and the person who always listens is my mother. Until today, she's a very close friend to me and a mentor.
Mashallah.
And I used to just tell her everything I saw, and this and that and this, and I saw this is that, I don't know what, and the light and things like that. And then after that part, then I become, let's say, I have that urge to play and go with my peers. Before that, I didn't like to go there. I think maybe in the middle, when I was in teenage years, I did the moving more than the reflection. And also the beginning years of my life here as a director in Kuwait TV, also, and in my 20s. But I think after 30s, 35, and so I saw what I was doing is exactly the same.
The same as
I love to, I'm a mentor today, and I still like to see the connections between the people's behavior and their actions and what they want and how I can how I can motivate them to do the best that they can. In addition to, as I am producing something or seeing something being produced, I make the connections also and want to see the process itself. And I always want to share that information. So, and I do that through the mentorship and through the training. And that's actually what I've done now in Alwan Yarub. It's basically three things. It's about me sharing the information of what my knowledge since 96 till today. In addition to seeing each one of them and trying to bring out the best in them and make them the best version of themselves. In addition to always being interested in a new kind of endeavor and a new kind of project. So all of those three is the same Yarub that was 4 and 5 and 6 years old. I think now today is not a far away person.
Yes. So having that passion is something very beautiful, and to hear you say that really triggers something, let's say more of a memory that you still cherish, talking more about your relationship between you and your mother, the one that listens to you, encourage you, maybe let's say she was the source of power and believing in yourself and trying, let's say, to accomplish something. Having that memory is very precious, and it really shows through what you see within these, let's say, students that you actually have them in Alwan Yarub. You represent that kind of relationship that you actually gained with what you had with your mother, and that kind of confident and comfort zone, and presenting them in that, let's say, sense of community, and trying to always find the better version of themselves, because this is what that kind of great beyond the relationship does bring on the table itself. So having that said, one of the most important thing is to always find passion. We know that we love what we do, but sometimes in a sense of way you reach to a point where you feel, am I doing that because I have that passion or because I'm used to it, you know? So do tell us about reviving the passion during let's say your career.
First thing, thank you, because I've never actually correlated my ability to listen to people and my skills to listen to people and try to make them reflect more and assist them like my mother did to me. This is something that I just actually connected. Thank you for that. And yes, and until today, this is, like you said, it's a cherishable moment, and I'm very lucky for that. And now I know where I get that from also.
Yes.
Second of all, the passion part and how so the question is, am I doing what I'm used to, or am I doing something that is really passionate?
We reach to a point where when we're working in something we love and passion, we get used to what we're doing, then we forget the passion, and then we want to come back again, like more of a combat, like, am I doing this because I'm used to it?
Yes. I asked them about this, and I think one of the you need to dissect them, make them like a frame by frame kind of emotion. And if you actually work in your interest and try to materialize it or try to manifest it through curiosity, and then go back to the interest and then curiosity and just swing between the two, you are in your element. You're in your passion, and probably very huge impactful things will happen by you just going between the both of them. It's just like somebody that says my intention or my interest is going on that mountain, and then when you go, as you're going to that mountain, you just reached a high, because you just the drive is you going to the top. When you go to the top, you see more of what you like, and then you're curious and what's there, and then you go more. So as you are swinging between the interest and the curiosity, you will be in your element.
Yes.
But definitely there are some difficulties along the road, right?
Yes. Some,
Obstacles.
a lot.
So
That I think that's the only thing that will make you endure. You because you love what you do. You are interested in knowing, and you're curious of knowing more. I think that's in many days. This is the only thing that makes you going.
do you have any specific obstacle difficulties that you faced along the way that you cannot forget, and it taught you something that made you who you are right now?
How long is the program?
Well, to be honest, like I see you as a person that don't see things as obstacles, but more of a challenge that makes you want to prove yourself more.
Challenge.
So this is where it really shows how, let's say, very important for a person to look at things from different angle and perspective, and not to look at it within the, let's say, more of a box, or looking into it through the box itself. So when it comes into trying to always be extraordinary and always try to be, let's say, your own version of you, this is where everyone starts to, let's say, talk and makes, let's say, more of a hesitation for your decision. For instance, you think of an idea and you believe that when I am directing this theme, it's going to be perfect. But then you hear people, or let's say close ones, saying, that sense of when you are coming to person with that kind of sense of passion, like this isn't a good idea, and then when you keep it on the table, like you feel like that breathing of there's something going to be said could be irritating sometimes. So do elaborate on that kind of sense, let's say.
Yes, that sense is called ego. And يعني
It's so difficult.
people that work like us in places where you're the director, you say, you call the shots all the time.
Yeah.
Ego creeps in on you, and you don't, as sometimes you don't know you have that, but I said no, or I said yes, or I said do this. And ego, it does creep up on you, and it's crippling. يعني, so the healthy part to me is when in the moments when I'm curious and wanting more of this, and then I want to perfect it more, and being in that moment, which could stay 2 weeks, which that moment is maybe my project as I'm doing it every day, just refining it and keeping. There is no ego, and there is no feeling of wanting to be extraordinary. Now the work in the end becomes extraordinary because you focused on it so much.
Yes.
The work, not you.
Yes.
This is something that we have to لازم نفصله. We have
Right.
to يعني
Separate
separate
them.
them from each other. The work that you are now that you have done because you focused on it so much, it became different and extraordinary. Now you are only an interested and curious soul that want to refine what
Right.
you have done. هذا إذا إحنا ركزنا على هالموضوع, if we actually concentrate on that, it wouldn't hurt us. Now the other part بالكويتي لازم أقولها لما تطيح على وجهك, or when you just fall on your face, it hurts because now you thought this was really good, and it somehow it didn't get to the people.
Right.
This project or whatever you've done, or didn't get to the people. Now again, it hurts. And now if the healthy way, again, I'm just saying the healthy way, I'm not saying what I do. Sometimes I'm just يعني what I sometimes I do, I would crawl into my bed for a very long time and not talk much and just feel bad.
Yeah.
But the healthy part, when I'm actually in a good awareness mode,
Yes.
I go into curiosity on what went wrong. What did I do that? How could I have done this better?
Yes.
هذا الحين أحلى شيء.
Yes.
And from here, there is a ladder. If you actually just get the emotions out, there's a ladder there. How can this have been better?
So with this ladder, we're going to continue our episode with the reviews after this break, so stay tuned to us.
Great.
All right, and we are back, dear viewers. So we were talking about the ladder. So ladder of success. I would say.
The ladder of going back into your element,
Mhm.
the ladder of going back into creation.
Mhm.
And that's a beautiful part about it. I think like what we are doing right now, that you guys are leading now, is creating a beautiful kind of conversation
Thank you.
that is يعني escalating to an interesting kind of topic. Yeah. So one of the things that I used to really love watching and looking through was the reflections that are on crystals and diamonds.
Shiny stuff.
Shiny stuff, yeah. And today I understand that most of us are attracted to those diamonds and those jewelries is because we are attracted to actually the reflection of them. That's what dazzles us. But we forget that this reflection does not come except from a diamond, because it has to be cut a lot.
Mhm.
So for it to be cut a lot, and it stays
So it
connected,
have to go through a lot of things
It
to become
and
what
for
it
it,
is.
it has to be very strong. So for it to be very strong, it has to be under it has to be under a lot of pressure.
Mhm.
And so for it to be strong, for us to see a reflection on it.
Mhm.
So today, for us to, if we want our work to be, I personally want my work to be inspiring. I want my work to be, to actually connect with people and make them look in a different way, and look in a way where they can be inspired to do something big. I want to be impactful. I would love for my work to be memorable for the generations.
But this is already happening, right?
I don't feel that. I personally don't feel it. I still, inshallah يعني يصير. But I don't feel it. I feel that I'm in the process. I'm still in the curiosity and that part, and I'm in the failing and not knowing why this didn't happen. I don't feel that. I hope it inspired people and that. But in that, I really forget that you really need to be strong enough when you fall down and when you get in pressure, and when and the more you strong you become, the more of a reflection and gleam you can inspire people with.
Yes, and talking more about success and reflection, especially through the aspect of people. Us as a human, we always see that what I see in the mirror represents my happiness, or if I like what I look like, that means I'm really happy, and it will reflect it when it comes into my behavior and understanding and so on. But when it comes into your position and your work, the reflection of success doesn't depend on you, but it is depending on the audience. So it's like when you project your work, it's like you have a mirror that reflects to you what you expect to see from the audience. Happiness, sometimes sadness could be also a reflection of that kind of success that you have. So this amount of pressure that you keep yourself with is huge, and I'm very sure it does really affect even your surrounding, and everyone starts to, let's say, hesitate in a way, especially your loved ones, to say the appropriate words when it comes into, let's say, whether congratulating you or, let's say, trying to comfort you if it's a failure. So this is very challenging when it comes into dealing with all that by yourself. So do tell us about that kind of sense of experience.
Yeah, because when they and I'm okay, what I really hate is when somebody watches my work and says, "Eh, hello, team, yeah, nice." I don't want to be nice. I don't want my work to be nice. I want it either to be an extraordinary. I want it to be impactful, intense.
Yes.
Okay, I want it to be intense on the person. I don't want it to be nice. So gray, I don't like it. So I'm okay with them really hating it, like really hating. That means there is an energy that has been generated by watching my work. So it's fine with, and I'd ask more about that. I'd ask more. شنو اللي ما حبيته? What didn't you like? What did you? What really aggravated you? And I know that part, because I also love, of course, when the people say I loved it and it was great and
I didn't expect it.
So the
let's
feedback is
say.
Yeah,
very
but-
important from the people.
but I want to ask more.
Mhm.
So what did you like about it?
So this is where
What made
curiosity
it?
comes back
It's
again.
exactly because أنا بعد يعني إنه وايد حبيت and I loved it and whatever and this I don't take it as
Guaranteed that it's
and I must have it. I didn't. I need to
Take
You have
more
to get the
feedback.
benefit.
the
Yeah,
good
I want
moments
to. I
so
want
that
to
you
get
can-
my experience on what worked. What did you get impacted? So what did you like? The
Which
the
part?
lighting,
Mhm.
the intensity, whatever.
Yes, because what you're doing and presenting is actually art. And as an artist, they always like to understand their audience. What's happening? Like, what did you feel once you saw this specific, let's say, moment? Maybe, let's say, for instance, what you presented is something very huge, but you're not thinking about the whole image, but there's a specific moment you want everyone to feel it. And this is where you feel like it's okay to hear it's nice, it's beautiful, but maybe, for instance, in this moment, you want to hear someone say it's tragic, for instance.
Yes,
Because
it's
this
a
is the
specific
main-
part in
Which
their-
is really, to be honest, difficult because we do live in a crucial, let's say, society where it's either they hate, but they never tell you that we really, really love.
صح. if they're in our society, if they're quiet about it, that means they like it.
they
Yes.
like it.
Hey,
Yes.
they like
Which is really, let's say, it makes you really angry about it because you want to know
wanna
more.
know.
The curiosity do
Yeah, what worked?
this.
What was
صح.
good about it, so that I can keep on, doing it and maybe improving it in the future as well.
صح. إذا ما تحلطوه معناته حلو.
Yes. Which is something positive in a way, but yeah.
I guess both hate and love is a good way, is a positive feedback
Yes.
to me because
To
it
me, yes,
makes
as an
me
artist.
improve.
Yes, as an artist and as a person that wants to يعني lead in يعني be a thought leader, let's say, or a provocative director. Yes, I want people to be impacted. Now الحين negatively, positively ما أدري كيفك بس إنه at the end of the day I want you to be impacted. I think when I see the great let's say producers, directors, or artists, whatever, even great innovators, people either really love them or they hate them, and that's great. يعني اليوم مثلا لما نقول أنا أحب محمد عبده مثلا. محمد عبده is somebody that is actually not a neutral kind of person, and he doesn't do normal kind of songs or هبة. No, he does something.
He has his own style. He's unique.
الله يرحمه أبو بكر سالم مثلا. He's in the same time أنا بالنسبة لي عبقري. بالنسبة لناس ثانية مثلا a genius, and يعني for others they're like, why is he singing that way? It's like weird or something like that, So both of them have really hard opinions on him, or intense opinions, and that's where I see ما أدري Steve Jobs would be the same يعني or I don't know, Gandhi يعني صح. يعني these are people that you can't, nobody says
Yes.
just goes عادي. He's not عادي يعني.
I mean, you can use their name as a reference, like he's Gandhi,
Yes.
So then you can feel like how strong it is. So if we're talking more about word and how important word could affect us, how could we describe Yarub Borhama in a word? Can you try describing yourself in that sense?
Spectacular. I would say.
والله حبيبي والله مشكور. Thank you very much.
It doesn't mean, like, we don't say an adjective or something. That's just any kind of word.
يعني
I would say a
I
three.
love أنا أحب أنا curious. I'm always curious and I love to be curious. Curiosity right now is really in.
Yes.
عندي أنا it's in now يعني, and it was really in when I was a kid. So I think curious is one. أحب يعني I like to devote myself to the moment. I like to devote myself يعني, to the person that I'm with now, to the moment that I'm in now. I like that, but I don't know the word. But right now, curious comes in my mind. Yeah,
Curious was the key.
curious
From
was
the
the
beginning.
key from the beginning.
Curiosity. yes.
Curiosity وكثر curiosity من كثر ما أصير when I get excited about something, I ask more questions. And I remember being in the car with my parents because I'm الكبير, I'm the older eldest. So I stayed 4 years alone, and then أقول another 2 years because of my brother. يعني he became after that يعني that.
Yeah.
So I remember being in the car with both of them and being excited to go somewhere and just ask so many questions. And then, yani, halfway down the road, they don't answer me anymore because I'm just like overwhelming. I still feel the same now. I would go and I'd be intensely motivated right now and have that excitement in me, and I think that excitement would go with a person or people that I'm with now, and I feel it takes a lot of energy. It generates energy, but I think
It takes
sometimes people would be
From the people around you.
ساعات احس كذي فاي would يعني عادي اخفف وبعدين يعني
You still have more questions, but
ايه
hey, you just try to keep
ايه
it.
لان I connect. The questions become ما أصير أنا. It's not about me. It's now I'm seeing something and then just seeing another thing and it just becomes so focused and like laser kind of focus.
Tunnel vision.
And to me I love it. يعني that moment هاللحظة هذه أنا أحبها وايد.
The moment that makes you really, let's say, connected to yourself is when you get to that zone. So, which means that, especially when you're dealing as a mentor, is very beautiful in a sense and a way that you could actually see all of you within different, let's say, people and member. And this is something very beautiful because it's like you are presenting yourself and projecting yourself, and you can see who understands it, who reflects you, and then you combine them all together to becomes yourself. So it's very beautiful, but I'm very sure it's terrifying for the members themselves because dealing with that and dealing, of course, with you in your position, people, if they are really good at something, they would be very scared because we're going to present it to our mentor and we want it to be perfect.
صح. When the scary part I think would be when they want to present. But before that, I'm an assistant, and that's another word. So curious, and I become an assistant. I'm always the curiosity gets focused on the person.
Yes.
So أقعد أنا أسألك أنت وأبي أعرف الحين أكثر إيش مشكلتك where are you now what's happening what exactly, and then I assist you. I'm an assistant for you to actually bring out
The best of you.
yeah, and what is it that is actually challenging you now? I bring that out. So I'm an assistant here. I imagine myself as a person with a flashlight and looking with you on what's happening and where is the block, or what's it. So that's an assistant. But after that, when their homework becomes in, مثل when they want to present to me, I think they would get pressured because they know. And they can't do just whip up anything and not understand and just come to me because they're going to ask a lot of questions.
Yes, definitely. That's the
So
most
this is
scary
challenging,
part.
you know, like somebody who asks you a question about something you believe that you did good. Yeah.
Yes, you have to know it, and of course you have to make sure that it's presented in a good way so that it's accepted.
And plus, people who know Dage do believe in their work as, let's say, something they created, more of a, let's say, a child, and they're protecting it. Like, don't say it's not good, and
No, it has to be
trying to
good.
always find a reason why this is made up.
وأنا أسئلة ليش? Why this?
It's the most difficult WH question.
Exactly.
Why?
Why?
Because I made it. So you reflected your knowledge, your experience on the members, on the people that you changed actually their lives, I would say. So how do you feel when you know for sure that you changed somebody's life with your work, with your knowledge?
Useful, very useful. أنا يعني كل أقول بالكويتي يعني أقول مفيد إن شاء الله بالعربي أقول I want to be I would love just to stay useful for the people, for my kids, for my family, for anybody that wants help or needs assistance that I can actually يعني assist with.
Amazing. So we have a curious, assistant, and also
useful.
Yeah. Very beautiful said.
Thank you.
We told you. I mean, I said.
So these, let's say, the 3 new colors of
Yarub.
Borhama.
صح.
Yes.
صح.
Yeah.
It feels good to have you here.
Thank you.
We learned from the beginning. I was just before we start recording the second part. It was very joyful listening to you.
Thank you.
A very interesting storyteller. The story of yours, the background and the experience, and of course you have so much more information that you can tell us, and we will be enjoying listening to every bit of it. But unfortunately, we ran out of time, so we got the cue from Aziz, so we have to, finish the episode right now. So basically, we're so happy to have you here. It was joyful, literally. It was beautiful, and yep. So we have to take this really quick break before we wrap the episode. So stay with us, dear viewers.
Sure.
That leads us, dear viewers, to the end of this episode. It was joyful, it was amazing, and I enjoyed every bit of it. How did you like it?
Well, to be honest, it was very beautiful, energetic, and to me, I would really prefer to Yarub Borhama as an ocean. He's full of thoughts, imagination,
Yes.
curiosity, and great things. And so, such a beautiful, let's say, soul that really inspires everyone. And I'm very sure even our audience today understand him more. Let's say, look at him through a different perspective.
Yes, definitely. And I would say I can stay with Borhama for more than 1 to 2 hours. Listen to his stories. It was beautiful. He's a great storyteller. All right, so yep, that was the end, dear viewers. We hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe, and we hope to see you again in another episode of The Untold. Goodbye.